Hello and welcome to another episode of Badman Reviews. And this week we're going to be talking about Crash Bandicoot because it's something that everyone has been talking about recently and a lot of people are curious and excited about. And if you don't understand why, it's because there's a few things that have been happening that I'm going to talk about very shortly that are highly alluding to a new Crash Bandicoot game. Whether it be a remake of the old ones or a completely new game is something that we don't yet know or might never know. But from the few things we have under our belt, I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what, whatever. We kind of have a good idea that something is possibly going to happen at E3. And I use a lot of words like possibly, maybe, and who knows, because we really don't know. We're just really desperate. But let me tell you kind of what's going on and why we think things are going to happen at E3. Besides the obvious, it's a Crash Bandicoot anniversary coming up. I think it's the 20-year anniversary coming up. So that's one of the reasons, but it's not really a strong, we've had other anniversaries in the past that just didn't go well. So why would this one be any different? But there are a few other things that have been kind of hinting towards it. There has been some posts on a forum by a specific person who has stated some things in the past that have ended up being true. This guy has basically stated that Crash Bandicoot has been in the works. There have been things going on, and they haven't really stated anything else besides kind of get excited because something is probably going to happen. Now, the big thing, though, is Uncharted 4. For those of you who don't know, Uncharted 4 came out recently, and there was a hidden game inside Uncharted 4 where you played Crash Bandicoot. And this brought a lot of confusion. A lot of people were like, well, does Sony own it again now because or does Naughty Dog own it again now because they're using Crash Bandicoot? And the biggest thing that confuses people about this is that usually when a company uses another company's property, they credit them in the credits, or they say Crash Bandicoot owned by Activision. Copyright blankety blankety blank. There's none of that in Uncharted 4. It's not in the credits, it's nothing. They don't trademark it whatsoever by Activision in the credits or anywhere in the game. So it's kind of suspicious that they wouldn't. These are two giant companies. And the fact that they would, even if Activision still owns Crash, the fact that Naughty Dog and Sony would take a huge risk and not credit Crash Bandicoot in their game is kind of crazy to consider. That would be a giant lawsuit just waiting to happen over something small as putting some text in the credits. And it would also be insane of Activision to not take advantage of that. The fact that, because when it comes to copyrights, you need to state these things when something happens, or you risk losing your IP. So the fact that Activision didn't say anything with Crash Bandicoot and use that as a way to kind of renew their license on him and not risk losing Crash Bandicoot after a specific amount of years of not doing anything with him is kind of mind-boggling. So what this leads us to think is Activision doesn't own Sony anymore. Activision doesn't own Crash anymore. There are, if you do look up who owns the Naughty Dog trademark online, it will still state that Activision is currently the owner of it. But these things don't update all the time, and they don't update if Sony or Naughty Dog haven't chosen to finish filing the paperwork yet for these things. Activision could have sold it to them, they just haven't finished the paperwork that would have been filed onto that website and changed the information henceforward. The issue, though, is these things usually... What I'm trying to say here is that it should have been changed by now on that website, because Uncharted 4 has had delays. Uncharted 4 should have been out a while ago, and if Crash Bandicoot would have switched back then, that update and that paperwork should have been done by now. There is a time limit on that paperwork on when it needs to be done. The issue also here is that... I forget what I was going to say. But yes, the paperwork needs to be done by a specific date, so with Uncharted being supposed to be out way before its actual release date, it's kind of weird that we haven't seen any update on that website yet. The other thing is that Uncharted 4 was supposed to come out a while ago, and Naughty Dog stated that any kind of Crash Bandicoot Easter egg, or basically what they put into the game at that time, they stated was basically impossible and almost would not happen because of how impossible it would be to get the rights, put it in, and do everything they did. And yet, the game comes out, and we have all of that in the game now. So what changed between that statement that they made and now is unknown. There's a lot of speculation, and it's a lot of Crash Bandicoot fans really kind of digging deep into this and really wanting there to be a new Crash Bandicoot. Hell, I want a new Crash Bandicoot. E3, that would be amazing. Crash Bandicoot, Sony, Naughty Dog, it would be fantastic. Even just a remaster of the first 3 games, I would be 100% fine with that. But as a Crash Bandicoot fan, I kind of have to also think logically. I kind of have to think, he's been dead for so long. Every year something happens and we get our hopes up and we go, oh, it's going to be this E3, and it's kind of gotten disappointing. But there are a lot of things this year pointing towards it with Crash Bandicoot being on Uncharted, no copyrights being claimed on it, the fact that they stated that Crash Bandicoot wouldn't be in Uncharted because it'd be impossible, and then he ends up in it somehow anyways. Plus the anniversary coming up. There's a lot more than usual hinting at Crash possibly coming back. But yet again, that might just be us digging too deep into things and, getting our hopes up yet again. And we won't really see until E3. Truthfully, I do hope that something gets announced, because I would love another Crash Bandicoot game. I would love something else to talk to you guys about. I would love to review a new Crash Bandicoot. I would also really like a reason to get a PS4, because I want a PS4, but I don't have a reason yet besides like 5 games. And I guess Crash Bandicoot would be the turning point. So, that's what I have to say about this. I want to know what you guys think about it. There's just so much going on that it's hard to get a good grip on it and kind of get the true facts, because you hear something from someone and then you hear something different from someone else. There's just so much going on that you just really can't tell who to trust. But you can trust me, because my information is based off of other information that probably could be right or wrong. So take everything you hear with a grain of salt, people. Yet again, post in the comments below what your thoughts on this are. Do you think there's going to be a new Crash Bandicoot? And what would you like to see? Would you like to see a remaster? Would you like to see a new Crash Bandicoot? And what would you like it to be like? Would you like a kind of Twinsanity type game where it's open world walking around? Or would you like the old style, retro, walking in a straight line, you get to the end, there's bonuses, you know what I mean. If you're a Crash Bandicoot fan, you know what I mean. So post in the comments below what you would think about that, what kind of game you would want, all that jazz. And until then, I'll see you in the next video, where I hope I can say, Crash Bandicoot is at E3. But, probably not going to happen.